Thank you, Noom, for partnering with me on this video. Hey, child, and welcome back to my channel. So, can y'all believe it's been 2 years since I got doctored on, got that good old weight loss surgery? If you are new here, first of all, hey boo. Secondly, in July of 2020, that year that we don't listen, it's like Bruno, we don't discuss it. But in July of 2020, I had the gastric sleeve surgery. I had it for a number of reasons, but the main reason was I was having trouble with conceiving because of PCOS, and thank God, because of my surgery, a lot of hard work, and a miracle, my baby is here. So the last time I did an update video was in July of last year, and I told y'all the series was discontinuing. Well, the reality is at that time I was hiding a pregnancy, but now that he's here, we can continue to talk about it. In this particular video, I am going to talk about what I wish I knew at the beginning of this journey and the mistakes I made, so that hopefully you, if you are new to this journey or if you're thinking about it, you can learn from my mistakes, or if you're just downright nosy, you get this thing too. So if you want to know about my mistakes and what I wish I would have known so that I could have a better experience, keep on watching. No intro today, let's get into these tips. Now, because I know I get to rambling and being long-winded, I done took some notes, honey. I got tips on this particular video that, you know, listen, hopefully it'll help you change your life in a better way, because I wish that I had knew that information. Starting with number one, honey. In this weight loss surgery journey, there is a 6-month honeymoon period that I didn't know about at the beginning of this. I don't know if that applies to the bypass and all of that, but for the sleeve, you got about a good 6 months where you can do a little extra cheating and you still gonna lose weight. But then after that, nope, nah. For about 6 months, your body is adjusting to this major surgery. The restriction is really strict or whatever, and it's really easy to lose the weight. But after that, your body starts adjusting, your stomach gets a little bit more comfortable, your restriction eases up a little bit, and before you know it, you can eat more. And for me, like to this day, I still have restriction in my stomach, but I can eat more, and I can eat more often, which can lead to more calories. With that being said, know that you have about a good 6 months. Capitalize on it as much as you can. Take advantage by working out, making sure you're watching your macros, because at the end of that 6 months, you're gonna have to start being on what I consider to be the maintenance period, where it's just like, all right, the surgery then did its job and it gave you the fresh start. It's up to you to take that baton and run with it. Now, if you choose not to run with it, it ain't that the fact that the surgery failed you, it's the fact that you didn't do the work. So just be prepared at the end of that 6 months. Baby, you got to work. Next, number two, and I kind of touched on it a little bit. I do still have restriction, but there are some foods that are very deceptive. It's this thing called slider food. So say it's like a potato chip. A potato chip is a lot less filling, so you can end up eating a lot more than you would if you had a fuller protein like a piece of steak. So if you're not careful with your food selection, you can eat a bunch of slider foods, and before you know it, you've eaten a lot of calories. And those slider foods can really hinder your weight loss journey. So it's best to focus on whole foods, whole proteins like meats and vegetables, and like seriously whole foods, because junk foods, before you know it, you done ate a whole thing of popcorn and they ain't even thought about it. So yeah, seriously, there are some foods that will make you think that your stomach no longer has restriction, and it's not the fact that you don't have restriction, it's just they are way easier to get a whole lot more of them in. I personally have fallen into that trap before. I'm sitting there watching a movie and it's natural. You got your little movie, you want your popcorn, and next thing you know, I now ate a whole lot of super buttery popcorn. So what has helped me is tracking my macros, and in comes the sponsor of this video. And y'all, seriously, they're not, number one, they're not a stranger to the channel. Number two, they seriously help me. So with that being said, shout out to Noom for sponsoring this portion of today's video, because y'all know with sponsorships I get donations, gifts. All right, so boom, let's talk about Noom a little bit. So with me being in what is considered the maintenance portion of surgery, because again, I'm 2 years out. Yeah, I do still got restriction, but I have to be careful with what I eat. Noom helps me because, like, for example, I just had a baby. I got a little bit of extra baby weight on me that I would love to lose. But the reality is sometimes old me tries to pop back out. And who is old me? When I get extra weight on me and I don't like it, I jump to a fad diet. And that is where I have messed up a lot in the past. You jump on these fad diets, you lose a whole lot of weight, but then once you come up, what happens? You get that weight back and then some. So that's where Noom comes in. Not only does it help me to track what I'm actually consuming in my body, it helps me to get a new healthier mindset when it comes to food, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to my life's journey, so that I'm not relying on something super quick, super fast, just to get super quick results, but I'm relying on something to change my mind. And the thing with Noom is, if you find your why on why you're choosing the foods you're eating, on why you're doing the things you're doing, it helps you to make better choices. So with Noom, yeah, they are a partner with you if you're on a weight loss journey, but Noom really uses science. They are a science-based program that helps you to even reach not just your scale goals, but your non-scale goals. With me, like I said, I have fallen into the trap of fad diets before, so my non-scale, I done got excited and got to stutter. My non-scale goal was to really focus on my health and my wellness, especially as a mama, without jumping into a fad. And so with Noom, they actually have these lessons that you can get into. One of them is about breaking the behavior chain. That's a particular lesson that I have drawn from in the past, and I actually use it still in my present, and it's just me rehearsing my behavior chains, knowing my why I'm choosing the foods I'm doing and my why I'm eating right now. And that helped me to realize I'm an emotional eater. So now, instead of just like grabbing my little snacks and all that stuff, I'm asking myself, Faye, are you actually hungry? Is this actually nourishment for your body, or are you bored? So yeah, between the calorie tracker, my food tracker, and the lessons, I'm approaching my new fitness journey with a renewed mind versus just, okay, you got surgery, the surgery gonna take care of everything. Go ahead and do this quick little fad diet and that's gonna take care of everything. No, I'm going into it with a fresher mind, to where it's just like, I'm not in a race to lose weight, I'm in a race to be the healthiest version of me, and Noom is an excellent partner in doing that. So if you're looking for someone to partner with on your journey, I really do recommend the Noom platform. It's really very simple. Just go to the link in the description box or noom.com/Faye in the City. You'll take a free evaluation. Listen, it's super fast, super easy. And once you're done with it, you'll come up with your own custom plan to help you reach your own fitness goals. So shout out to Noom for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Let's get back into this surgery talk. All right, so we talked about the honeymoon period. We talked about the deceptive slider foods that I had you snacking all day and night, and next thing you know, you ate 3,000 calories. Number 3, and this is a cosmetic thing. Y'all, people done told me to put on vitamin E, people done told me to put on bio oil, but the reality is these good old surgery scars did not fade. Let me show you. And child, I hope I ain't ashy. But yeah, this is me and my mommy belly, and as you can see exactly where the stomach came out when the doctor cut me. I done spent a lot of money on oils, creams, fading things, all that kind of stuff, and listen, you can still clearly see where them scars are. So yeah, don't be like me, don't waste your money. The scars are there, just consider them pretty little war wounds for your new journey. Next, speaking of something that is cosmetic, honey, nobody could have prepared me for how self-conscious loose skin would make me feel. And it's just like, you're in this journey where you lose this weight and you're feeling good about yourself, that you made a healthy choice, that you took your power back, that you did something for yourself. Then all of a sudden your skin gets to drooping. Child, and there's like this mental battle where it's like, I did all of this work to get this body that I want, and I still don't like it because of this skin. And I know that sounds so shallow, but it's the truth. Y'all, like, seriously, I was chubby, but I was solid. Child, now this stuff be jiggling. I'm like, what's going on? And a lot of it is loose skin, from the arms, the boots. Just listen, I got some loose skin. And just to be candid, I don't like it. I'm accepting of it, and I'd much rather have the loose skin that I have versus the health ailments, the potential health ailments, and just feeling like I don't want to go back. So I'm okay with what I have, but nobody prepared me for the mental battle that would be associated with having loose skins. Now, I've come a long way. I'm feeling better about it now, but even now, I still have to check myself when I wear something sleeveless, and I don't really feel the best about it. So it's really me withholding judgment on myself and making sure I'm showing myself grace and kindness and not being mean to myself. But I'll just be honest, sometimes I feel very self-conscious about loose skin, and if you are someone who loses a large amount of weight, you may encounter the same thing. So start preparing yourself now. Surround yourself with good ideas about yourself. Speak positivity of yourself, because it may be a time where it's like, yeah, I lost all this weight, but I'm still hiding because I'm hiding this skin. And that's the reality that a lot of people face. And I don't say that to be triggering to people, but y'all, it's the truth. A lot of people that have these weight loss surgeries, even in the support groups that I am in, they end up feeling really bad about the loose skin, especially if they lost a large amount of weight. So just prepare yourself for the mental battle that is that, honey, I have to speak over myself on a regular basis. Like, honey, you're beautiful. Your body has accomplished a lot of things. But there are moments where, I'll be honest, where that is hard. When your mind and society has told you what is beautiful and you're not matching up to that. So yeah, it's a lot of mental work, a lot of spiritual work, and a lot of emotional work that comes with it. And of course, that's really personal to each individual. But just know that if you do lose a large amount of weight, there may be a day that comes where you're feeling some type of way because your skin starts sagging. And if that day does come for you, like it has come for me on a many a times, just remind yourself that your body accomplished something amazing, that you are totally worth the work that you put into yourself, and you are so much more than some loose skin. Honey, I'm way more than a jiggly on. Something else that I was not ready for was how rude human beings can be. Now, of course, I know that there's a lot of stigma and judgment towards people that do get weight loss surgery. I totally understand it, but y'all, people can say some very insensitive, rude things. And so I would just definitely say, for me, I didn't mind being open with my journey because I felt like I was helping people. But if you are in a position to where you don't have to share, don't. And I'm not saying hide it forever. I'm just saying protect your inner peace. First of all, you don't owe anybody your health records. Secondly, people can really be judgmental, and you're already going through a journey where you will have some emotional days, just because with weight loss, your hormones are starting to do some weird things and you may be emotional. And the last thing you need is when you're trying to hold yourself together and then somebody saying something crazy to you. People have said some things to me, but y'all know I don't be caring. That's just who I am. But the reality is, not everybody is me, and some people are a little bit more sensitive. So I would just say, be very cautious if you do decide to share. Make sure you share it with people that you know are totally supportive, and don't feel obligated to give your health records to anybody. Right now is the time where you're choosing yourself. If you choose to share it, so be it. But if you don't, honey, it ain't nobody business. Don't you feel a lick of guilt about it, because people are exceptionally rude. Dehydration, honestly, that was one of the worst parts of this situation to me. Just like wanting to drink and can't, or feeling a weakness in your body but your stomach is so small it's hard to really consume enough. Like, I had brain fog, I was weak in my body. Like, seriously, dehydration was one of the worst things, and I thank God that I was in a position to be able to afford IV therapy. I would have a nurse come to my home and administer that to me. So if you can afford that, I would definitely say look into that. If you cannot, I'm telling you, plan your day ahead of time, especially in the beginning. You have to get your liquids in. Yeah, food is important too, but you have to get those liquids in, because listen, body will shut down. Do you understand me? Find a way to stay hydrated. Now, of course, you're not going to be able to get the 64 ounces or half your body weight in ounces, but get as much as you can, because listen, functioning, there were many days where I got up and I would lose my balance. I would get up and be sick. It felt like morning sickness, but it was because I was so dehydrated. Like, seriously, the dehydration was not a game. The dehydration was something that I was not prepared for. So I'm telling you ahead of time, coconut water, Gatorade Zero, things like that. Find you a way to get you some electrolytes in, because you're going to need them. I cannot express that enough. You're going to need them. Next, another thing that I wish I knew ahead of time was the importance of, just like with the dehydration, you got to find a way to get those liquids in. You really do have to prioritize eating. Because of the hormonal shifts, there was a lot of times I had no appetite whatsoever, and so because I wasn't hungry, I didn't feel the need to force myself to eat, so I did not eat. But the reality is, to not consume enough calories will actually slow down your weight loss. So make sure, in addition to that dehydration, you have to find a way to give your body some sustenance. And it honestly, it's a full-time job. Like, just making sure you're staying hydrated and then making sure you're eating. And you can't do them both at the same time. Like, seriously, it's a job, but you have to. That's why when I say this surgery process is work, it is work. If you are not eating, you will not lose. Find a way to get you some calories in. Okay, next. So someone incorrectly told me going into this that dumping only happens to those who have the gastric bypass. That if you have the sleeve, you do not dump. And I'm here to tell you that is a lie. If you don't know what dumping is, if you eat too fast, if you eat something too sweet, if you're just eating something that your body does not agree with, your body will go crazy until it gets every ounce of it out, whether it comes out the top or the bottom. You understand me? Like, dumping is no fun. It will literally feel like an extremely scary experience. Like, for me, I was sweating. I was vomiting. I felt like my heart was racing. Like seriously, if you put your new stomach to the test, your stomach gonna show you who the boss, and honey, it ain't you. But anyway, back to dumping, like whether it be the bypass or the sleeve. If you are eating too much of a sugary content, too many carbs, or eating too fast, or just, it could be anything. If you're not careful to make sure you're slowing down, slowly chewing, and making sure you're not pushing your stomach to its over capacity, you will end up dumping, and it is exceptionally uncomfortable even if you have the sleeve. So that was one of the things I was not prepared for. I was told that wouldn't happen to me, and honestly it was just a bold-faced lie. You can still dump with the sleeve. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just to sum it up, number one, take advantage of the honeymoon period. That's that 6 months immediately after surgery. Put in that extra work. Like, you gotta do work the whole journey, but do that extra work in the 6 months so you get you some extra credit.
A few moments later.
And as you can see, we have a visitor now. My baby was sleeping, but he woke up and he wanted to tell my mommy love. But to sum up this video, number one, take advantage of that 6-month honeymoon period. Number two, give yourself an occasional treat. I would never say don't eat junk food, but make sure you're watching it, because it's way easier for your stomach to pass through those junks like chips, popcorn, candy, and stuff like that than it is like chicken or beef or something like that. So make sure your diet is mainly whole foods. Again, I'll never advocate for saying never have junk, but I would definitely say focus on those whole foods. And yeah, this is a journey. Your body ends up with scars. You end up with loose skin. You might lose a little hair. There are some uncomfortable, unpleasant things, but overall, I would not trade a single thing. Like, to me, it was totally worth it. I love feeling healthier. I love feeling like I'm doing something good for my body. I love the fact that I was able to give birth. Yeah, foaming and dumping is uncomfortable, but that is avoidable if you watch what you're eating and drinking. And yeah, dehydration sucks, but it can kind of be avoided. And I say kind of just by planning your day and scheduling in time for yourself as far as getting hydration and scheduling in your diet. Like, it's some rough points to this journey, but it's totally doable. I would recommend it to anybody who is truly considering it. To me, it was totally worth it, especially because I got my voice. So if y'all have any questions, leave them down below. I love y'all. Maki Dada. I will see y'all the next time. Shout out to them for sponsoring a portion of today's video. Y'all make sure y'all check out that link in the description box. Again, if y'all have any questions, leave them down below. I love y'all. Maki Dada, and I will see y'all next time. Let me go put my baby back to sleep. Bye, y'all. Oh, I'm loud.